vous connais. Larbi, how are you, my brother?
I'm very good. Thank you, Elijah. With me, I have Malik. Thank you for joining the call, Malik. And we're just going to dive in right to it today. I just want to share something with the drivers. Sometimes I may take a ride, or a friend of the IDG may offer a ride around the city, but there's something for sure that drivers really doesn't know who is IDG. When I ask them the question, are you a member with IDG? And they ask me, what is this? So it's like something strange to them. But we've been in the business for 6 years, organizing and mobilizing drivers toward many victories. And one thing that I want to emphasize on, the IDG is an organization that is representing drivers. We probably lost Malik there, but he's going to...
Yeah, we lost Malik, but go ahead. I'm sure he's going to call back.
Absolutely. One thing that it's for sure, the 5% wage bump and then the new TLC order. This is something that we call Band-Aids. What it means, of course, protecting the rights of the workers by bumping 5% doesn't really cut it. There's many things that needs to be changed, and one of it is the respect and dignity that all drivers need.
Malik is back.
Like I said, Malik is here with me. And Malik, can you tell us a little bit, how do you feel about the 5% increase that the TLC recently ordered? Go ahead, Malik.
Okay. When it comes to the city, New York City, the 5 boroughs where there's traffic, and even traveling 1 mile can take like at least 10 minutes. So they didn't really do anything with this 5% increase. Like, instead of raising the per mile rate, they should have, raised the per minute rate. Yeah, they should have raised the per minute rate. So It would at least give us some difference. But this 5%, and they did it after 2 years, even though they were supposed to do it annually. Which, it's TLC, so they can get away with anything. And then they take it us, yet they need to fix themselves from the inside, because there's a lot going on in TLC. So it's just a slap on drivers' faces, that this is what you're worth, a 5% raise after 2 years. It's a shame that we put our lives on risk with all these temporary plates going around, screwing drivers, hitting us from every side scraping us, rear-ending us, yet they just, drive away, hit-and-run cases. And drivers are, left there to suffer, but all they do is give us a 5% raise. There's no protection. There's no safety on the job. Uber does not, check riders' backgrounds. They don't ID the riders, so it can be any rider that probably just got out of jail, or maybe not jail, but wants to go to jail or is tired of his life. And then they end up, stabbing us, killing us, robbing us, and no one's there to protect us. And we do it just for barely $10 an hour. Back to you, Larry.
Absolutely. And with the inflation rate, I think this 5% doesn't really cut it for the drivers. Prices of the gas are really high. I was surprised to see it's reaching right now $4.25. I think that's the highest, and probably it's going to hit again another rate. And unfortunately, drivers are going to have some problems paying for gas. It's going to add a lot of expenses to them. And I'm sure, Malik, you've been gassing up your car, and every time you hit the pump and it doesn't stop, and it worries you, of course, because that's something that is coming out of your pocket. But another increase will help the drivers. Probably another surcharge will help drivers. What do you think? There is a message that you want to give the drivers, how to actually come and demand those changes. Go ahead, Malik.
We have to stand up. We have to join, unite, and do anything and everything that will give us power to regulate this industry ourselves instead of having people who say they're so educated and professional yet they don't even know crap about this industry, just sitting over there, retired cops and everything, just regulating us. That's wrong. They can't just say that just because we have PhDs in X, Y, and Z, those PhDs, those are 30 years old, 40 years old. This is a new world you're living in. There's everything changed, new technology. You have to change with it. You have to adapt. People just don't want to do that, and the worker gets screwed. So anything and everything we need to do, we need to unite. We need to be on social media. We need to be on Twitter. We need to talk to senators. We need to talk to legislators. We need to talk to our district council members. We need to talk to everyone. We need to talk to riders. Let them know that Uber and Lyft rob us. We do not charge them $100 a ride that is actually only a $10 ride. We do not do that. Uber does that. Lyft does that. We do not get the extra money. Riders need to know this. Drivers need to know this. Drivers need to tell the riders that this is what happens. So anything, organizing. That's all it takes. All right.
Absolutely, and it takes a really good, organizer such as yourself, Jackie, Aziz, Michelle, Tina, Pedro, and Guillermo, and also Marian. And I'm just giving a shout out to the team from here, the dedication and the hard work that they've been together for the longest, and actually continuing to support drivers before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and I wouldn't say the pandemic is over, but so far the transition is slowly happening, and I'm glad that there is some room to breathe right now, so drivers can actually relax a little bit. Still, you have to wear your mask every time you have a ride. Sanitize your car, continue to sanitize your car, and just a heads up for drivers. Listen, don't stop cleaning your car just because of the pandemic. You still have to do it. That actually can boost your tip. Little smile here and there with your passenger. Be courteous, nice to them, and you need to work on that customer service skills. And with IDG, we have a dedicated class. We call it professional 5-star class service that is free to drivers. You can join us on that. 917-594-6880. Just type in 5-star class, and we'll send you the link to register. It's an online meeting class. On a Zoom meeting. It's an online class, so you can just register. It's every Thursday. Sometimes we might not take all over the capacity of the class, but there is, you can schedule on the website. You can go online right now, driversguild.org, go to the chapter of New York, choose the services, and then you see classes, choose the 5-star class, and you register. If you want to learn more about the industry, how to deal with problematic behavior, how to actually save yourself from danger, and how to give a good customer service, therefore you can enhance the chances of getting tips or gratuity. And Malik, you've been in the industry for quite some time, and we want to go back before the pandemic happened. What was, I would say, your work ethics? Do you work nighttime, daytime, and how do you greet your customers or riders at a time? And if that's thing you still feel like drivers are still doing during the pandemic. Go ahead, Malik.
So before the pandemic, I loved the night shift. You could say it was the second shift in a way. I used to get out of my house around 3:30, reach Manhattan around 5, and I would work till, 4 or 5 in the morning. Well, 3 in the morning. So I would head out at 1 o'clock from Manhattan. So in total, it was 12 hours and 9-hour shift. I loved it. It was good money, especially when the minimum wage IDG that passed the minimum wage. And then there was the lockout. A lot of people did not like the lockout. I actually liked it because, you know, I got to make more money because I was working up full time. So, but when the pandemic started and like all these people, they went crazy. Like a lot of temporary plates, a lot of stolen cars and stolen bikes and everything. They started coming out in the streets. I stopped. I couldn't do the night shift anymore. And even right now, like, well, even then, like some riders, they didn't want to wear the masks. And some actually took a selfie from Uber with a mask, and then they would take it off when you're in the car. And if you argue with them, they would just, you know, start going bad at you. They would actually do anything and everything to, you know, just feel like they were right and you were wrong. So I had to stop night shift. Now, sometimes, like, I do Uber Eats, but other times, like, if I need to drive, you know, I try to do daytime. It's just a bit safer. And even though, you know, TLC says that riders and drivers should wear masks and blah, 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 even though they don't regulate it on the rider. They regulate it like 100% on the driver, but not on the rider. Neither does Uber or Lyft regulate it on the rider. So even if someone doesn't want to wear a mask, I just stay quiet. I'll put on 2 masks. I have a partition in my car, and I'll just, you know, mind my own business. It's better than being, you know, shot or robbed. So besides that, these are crazy times we're living in. You got gas that's, I just saw today, it was $4.85 close to Skillman Avenue. No, not Skillman Avenue, exit 16, $4.95. That was crazy, $4.85 a gallon. And my car took about $85 worth, and that was only like 15 gallons. So, wow. Yeah, it's tough, man. And
no, I know it's tough, and it's only got to get tougher. One thing for sure, Malik, and I appreciate the story that you share with us, which is a takeaway for drivers tonight. If someone is not wearing a mask or a seatbelt, do not argue with them. You don't try to police people, right? We understand that, you know, as an experienced drivers, we understand that doesn't take you anywhere. If you try to police people, they're going to retaliate against you. So it's better to let them be. At the end of the trip, you can always report them without their knowledge. So just make sure that you understand this. The rating system, it works this way. When you rate a rider, they don't see your rating. They don't see what you wrote against them, or even you give them a compliment. They don't see none of that. So, but when they rate you positively or negatively, they can see it on the record, but they cannot see that you are aware of it. Only the company will let you know that they receive a complaint against you, and they will not deactivate you unless something really happened or something severe, rather mentioned here. And what it is more important for you to understand, don't be afraid to rate people. So if someone comes through your car, damage your seats, or leave some garbage in your car, you can always, you know, tell, you know, the ride-share company that you're affiliated with, you know, write a little report, hey, this passenger left the garbage behind them and I had to stop and clean it. You can always do that. If someone, you work at nighttime, even in the daytime, people can actually vomit in your car regardless of time. If someone did that, all we have to do is take pictures, and send it to the company, and they would send you a cleaning fee. Just don't take the habit of it, trying to make some extra money and cheat the system. Number one, that's not honest money. And number two, the company will know about it, and they will deactivate you, and they will prove you that you did something wrong. Prove to you that you did something wrong. So with that said, Malik, we want to touch a little bit about IDG Legal and the work that they do. Once again, IDG Legal, go ahead, Malik.
So IDG Legal, it's also, let's just say, not just about, it's also all about helping drivers in any way possible. If you have any letters that you need a lawyer for, and they can review it, and they can review it for free. They also have immigration lawyers. They also have accident lawyers, black car fund, workers' comp lawyers, and tickets, TLC tickets, NYPD tickets, small court claims. Almost anything and everything you need, they have. And they will help you as much as possible to get you to the right direction and, to win every case. Their number is 646-687-7587. If you need, you can go to idglegal.org. It takes about 2 minutes to make a case over there, and they will call you the next business day. Sometimes they call you within 5-10 minutes. That's how good they're at it. Hurry.
Right. Thank you, Malik. And now the topic that actually it's what a lot of drivers reach out to IDG with to get help getting back onto the platform, which is deactivation. Would you share with the drivers some of the tips that you use to actually protect yourself, and how can you protect yourself from deactivation?
So, with deactivation, I'll be honest, guys. If a rider says something and if you can avoid it, just try to avoid it. Just go with what they're saying. De-escalate the situation so that way they don't report you. That way they don't, the situation doesn't rise to an argument and leading to the rider's favor where they just say something to Uber and Uber just deactivates us. Try to always de-escalate a situation. Try to always be friendly. And even though, something they say customer is always right, but sometimes, especially in this Uber business, I'm not going to say they're always right. So, and if something goes wrong, if you feel something is fishy, like the rider might not like you or the rider might report you or something, make sure you report them. It takes 5 minutes. Go offline and report them. Don't, continue working and thinking that you're going to report them at the end of the shift or after the next ride, because by the time you get the next ride, the rider's done reported you, and now you have to suffer the consequences. There's many drivers. I have seen drivers with 40,000 trips, 22,000 trips, 30,000 trips, 25,000 trips, 10,000 trips, and 17,000 trips. They have been deactivated over simple things, and it's always a lie. Now, how can a driver be driving, but riders can report that they were, sleeping behind the wheel? And when the driver, presents proof to Uber with the dash cam video, and Uber still says, no, we just don't want to look at your proof. The rider said it, so that way, if you're out of we're going to take your livelihood away. That's what Uber does, and that's wrong. That's 100% wrong. We need to fix this. We need to make everyone aware that this is what's going on with us. Left and right, Uber's just recycling drivers, and that's wrong. Now, all they have is a computer that just, deactivates us, even though they say, oh, no, the special team looked at it. It's complete BS. There is no special team that looks at any of our problems. We need to regulate Uber ourselves. We, the drivers, need to do that. We need to regulate Lyft ourselves. We can't just let them keep on controlling us. If anything is wrong, they should tell us to bring the video camera proof to them. We're going to show it to them, and they're going to see that we're not guilty, and they should pay us for our time wasted. They shouldn't just deactivate us. It's 100% wrong, which is another reason we need a union. So if anyone's listening out there, we need help, and let us make a damn union. Sorry.
Absolutely, Malik. And which brought us to our last topic right here, which is justice for app workers. Just want to mention that IDG is part of a coalition that is actually organizing drivers and workers across many platforms, and they're part of that coalition movement representing hundreds of thousands of rideshare drivers and delivery workers united and to demand and transform the whole industry. And on February 2nd at Fully Squared, that was the day all the workers, drivers, and delivery workers came together and announced their coalition. And that's something that really shed some good light on all the workers, which means that their living wage is going to change. And all what they're asking is a safe working environment to end the unfair deactivation, which we were talking about a few minutes ago, and quality of healthcare benefits. Those are simple benefits. There is a list. You can actually go to the website and join the coalition, justiceforappworkers.org. That's one word, justiceforappworkers.org. You can learn more about that on the website as well. Soon, they're going to have resources available. But again, this is a calling for all the app workers here in New York City. And if you are from a different state as well, you can show the support for the rideshare and the delivery workers here in New York City. And if we win here, we can win everywhere, and we can change the dynamics so that we get what we deserve. So join the movement and organize with your fellow drivers and fellow workers for dignity at work. And with that said, Malik, one last message from you to the drivers. How can they join IDG, and how can they join and why do you need to join the Justice for App Workers?
It's all about change, and it's all about our benefits. We've been doing this job forever, and instead of just quitting a job that we so love, we need to make it better for us. We need to get more benefits. We need to get retirement, 6 days vacation pays. We need all of that, but we will not be employees. That's the best part about it. So that's what we need to do, and that's why we should have a union. That's why every driver should sign up at justiceforappworkers.org and driversguild.org. Every driver needs to be part of this. Every driver's say helps build a movement and helps make a change. And I'll be honest, right now, Uber and Lyft, they gave about $100 million in Massachusetts to buy a law and to push for their Prop 22, bill to pass. Now, lower rates, then they can, have lower rates. They cannot have a union or no say or anything. And I feel bad for them. Like, there's no organizing over there. So someone from Massachusetts is listening. You connect with us. We'll let you know what to do. And we have to fight this. We can't just let Uber, bully us around and bribe politicians so that way politicians can just, take their money, cash out, have a good retirement, and screw us over. Because this is our lives. These are our lives. We're moving New York City. We're moving
Absolutely.
everyone in New York City. MTA isn't doing a good job. We're doing a better job. So
100%.
make this better for yourself. Join at driversguild.org.
Great. Thank you, Malik. And we hope to see you in the next one. For those who are listening, mark this number, put it in your speed dial. Text us 24 hours. You can text IDG 24 hours, 917-594-6880, 917-594-6880. We are standing by to provide services and the help that the drivers need and the worker as well. And together, we're going to form this union, and it's going to be our fight until we get it. And we're not going to stop until we get it. I appreciate you, Malik. Hope to see you on the next one as well. Back to the studio with Elijah.
Thank you, Larbi. Thank you, Malik. Thank you, the whole IDG team. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, guys. IDG, you're making a difference. Doing a great job.
The best way to avoid serious illness from COVID-19 is for you, your kids, and older family members to get vaccinated and boosted, and to wear high-quality masks. Stay protected, New York. To learn more, visit nyc.gov/vaccine finder or call 877-VAX4NYC.
Voilà, c'est fini pour les programmes de la radio Sunuafrik en français et nos partenaires d'IDG. Mais les programmes de la radio Sunuafrik jusqu'à 5h du matin, on ne souhaite pas rater la radio Sunuafrik. On vous aime.